project for the day. We're going to get a belt shortened up, new lacing put on, and fire up the Rann-Carpenter, I hope. Make the spindle go round and round. So I'm just fitting the old belt, and what I've done is I've already measured off how much I'm cutting out, and I've left a little extra, so we'll fit it down. I'm going to replace the lacing on both ends, and this had a couple of splices in it. Now this, I believe, from what I understand, is alligator lacing, and we're going to replace it with clipper lacing, or a facsimile of. We're doing number 4.5. This is just about 1/4 inch lacing, and we've got lacing, and we have vinyl covered pins that came with it. So I sourced this from my local Tractor Supply. Actually, it's not exactly local, but it's not too far away. So that's what we're going to use. It came in yesterday. We're going to go out, cut the belt off straight, and then we're going to start measuring to see exactly how much I need to leave and how much I need to take out. This is my little eBay lacer here, and it's a standard clipper lacer, and used and abused. You know, looks to be in fairly good shape. Just mount it in the vise, clamp down, and this is all new to me. So if I screw up, we're both going to learn. We're all going to learn from my screw-ups here. The other lacer that I got that came with it, and I commented on it earlier, is this little one that looks like it works in a press, and it's been repaired. It's got some weld on here, weld braze. I can't tell. Looks like it's welded, but it appears to me like this would be used in a press rather than in a vise like the other ones. It's got a, you know, cast-out base, so it would sit flat, and you'd insert your lacing the same way. There's no pin with this, but that's not that big a deal. And you would just install your lacing in it, just like you would in a standard clipper lacer, and then you would set it in a press and press it down that way. So it's been repaired. You know, it was somebody's junk basically, but we may clean it up and look at it. I think it might be a nice little lacer. So anyway, that's what we got going. So let's go out in the sunlight. We'll cut this belt off straight and see what we can come up with. Probably could have cut that a little bit straighter so it wasn't angled. That looks a little bit better. Okay, I've got the alligator lacing on the other end I'm going to cut off. I think I'll go ahead and measure this for what we want for length, and then we'll go back and trim that end. So, over to the lathe. Okay, so all I'm going to do is measure length, and then I'm going to go back and actually measure what our overall length is, and then figure out how much I need to cut out. Now, I'm new to this, so like I say, we're all learning from my mistakes probably. And I know this has been done before, and there's nothing, you know, there again, not rocket science, but it's not really what I know about. We're going to go on that center shiv because I think that's about where we want to be. Now I've got some adjustment here, so we can figure out exactly what we've got and what we're going to, hopefully we get this right the first time. I'm just going to mark this one. That's fairly tight. We'll tension a little bit more. So I think we're going to cut out that much, but I want to measure how long it is so I've got a reference. And that way for future reference I know how much I need to actually cut out of the belt. All right, you got to remember to turn the camera on. We've cut our first piece of lacing so that it hopefully will crimp on right there. And left it so we'll crowd one side a little bit, but that looks like it's where it wants to be. So now, if we can get it in our we can get it down in there. A little bit tight there. Okay. Now I've seen it both ways. I've had some people say that you can leave the paper in there. Other people say they normally like to take it out. So I guess I'll take it out. That way I can look and see that everything is still locked in underneath the pins. There we go. Looks like that. And our belting's going to sit right in there just like that. So let's turn the camera around over here. Now for you, those of you more knowledgeable than I, we know this is a spacer. How does it work? I'm guessing that we butt one end up to this to set our belt into some way, and then to get our offset for the other belt, so we stagger those, we use that little step. Somebody tell me more than I know about it, which is nothing. Okay, we drop it into the bench vise like that. We take our piece of belt like this. Like I say, I'm not sure, and maybe we should be doing this from the other side like this. Maybe we should have it set on that side to act. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. Hit me. We're going to eyeball it. We're going to eyeball it. We're going to say right there for this half. I guess it'll either be right or it'll be wrong. Is that it? Seems like it should seems like it should close up a little bit more than that. Maybe that's all there is. Maybe I need to take it out of there and just squeeze it between a set of flat jaws, maybe. That's not going to hold our, or that's not going to leave our pin be positioned properly though. Do I have lacing that is a different size than the, as far as wire diameter, as opposed to the regular clipper lacing this fixture was designed for? The pin's all the way out. Come on, you guys are supposed to know more than me about this stuff. Seems awful tight in the wire. But that's what I end up with. Right, wrong, otherwise. So it seems to me that should lay a little bit flatter into that belting. So what if we were to, since we're experimenting here and don't have a clue as to what we're doing, we were to take a set of flat aluminum jaws. If we were to install a pin back in here so we don't crush where our pin's going to go back in, and we were to close these up, maybe a little bit. Seems to me that's going to clunk pretty hard across the, although on that inside it's a little bit smoother. Seems to me like that's going to clunk pretty hard across the shivs. So anyway, what did we add here? We added about 3/16 of an inch once it's latched together, because it shows about a quarter. So if we would cut 3/8 of an inch off of what we intended for our overall length, that should give us the length that we had to start with. And give us plenty of room to tension it. So I'm going to go ahead, cut the other piece 3/8 of an inch shorter, and we'll come back, lace it, and see what it's going to do. All right, back here again. Got it, I got it loaded in, same as we did on the first piece. I ended up and shortened it up a 1/4 inch. I stuck it back up there onto the machine, and that looked like it was where it was going to be, or where it needed to be. And for offset, what I'm going to do is I've got that lined up to where I think the lacing should be, with the exception of that one. We're just going to match up our, I'm going to say that's going to be about right. Good, bad, or otherwise. I could have left one more link on that other half, would have probably helped us a little bit. Here, let's see if we can't get this set down in there, make sure we're straight up perpendicular to it. This belt is about 2 3/8 of an inch wide, so I've got plenty of lacing. If I screw this up, of course now I'd have to splice it, because I would have the belt too short if we don't have it right here. And we'll have to work on this lacer just a little bit and see if we can't get a little more smoothness out of it when we use it in the future. I think we're going to do the same thing we did before. Stick a pin in here so we don't crush it. I don't know if this is right, wrong, or otherwise, or if it's even necessary, but it seems like it should penetrate into that belt. And part of the problem may be this old belt too. You know, it may just be a little bit out of hooky there. So then if we take our pieces, we should be able to stick that lacing together just like that. And take one of our vinyl coated pins there's what the insides look like. So we want our pin to be just a little bit shy of going there. We could have put one more lace out there. Would have probably helped us. Let's that's where we want to cut it. And that should be our pin. So let's go out and assemble it and see if we've got something worth having. Let's just stick her on here. And I think the center section's about where we want to be. It's going to set on there. At some point, once we get to really working on this machine, we'll have to replace the belting on it. I see we've got belting available from McMaster-Carr in different widths. I think it's something we'd probably have to get and then cut it down. This is only about 2 3/8 inches wide. Okay, so there we're linked together. Let's see if what we've got for, we may have to change alignment on this. Now there we're way loose, so let's see if we've got enough adjustment here. Ooh. Don't tell me we made this too long. Of course, I guess too long is a bit easier to take care of than too short, isn't it? Well, that's getting there. See if we've got a little bit more we can get out of that. Yeah, I think we'll start with that. So let me get just a little bit of oil just to squirt in these two headstock bearings. Just to get a little something down in there. Well, may jump off here, I don't know. Guess gotta plug it in. Alignment may be a little bit of an issue. We'll have to dink around with that a little bit. It's wanting to crowd this way. So we've got a little bit of an alignment issue there, but we'll deal with that later on. sitting awful unlevel, wants to sit here and rock.
Around later today anyway.
Yeah, we need to align our pulleys on our countershaft. All in all, that sounds pretty good, looks pretty good. Who knows how accurate we are, but nonetheless. Feels okay. Make sure we're not really out of adjustment with that upper belt. It's a little bit tight. So we'll have to do something with it too when we get that far. Yeah, we're definitely crowding belts running that way. Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty cool, guys. Tighten this down, see if it'll run in reverse. We're going to change belt position and slow it down a little bit. Clunk right there, that is the back gear nut, and there's that much slop in the pulley when you tighten it down into forward gear. It's this adjustment right here, and apparently there's that much slop in the pulley itself. Probably just walled it out after all these years. So let me get up here and shift this. I don't know that I can. Maybe I can shift it from right here. No, I can't. I've got that linkage undone. So that should be a neutral. Yeah, that's a neutral. It'll be our reverse, I do believe. Yeah, we got a little oil starting to seep out from our bearings there. Yeah, pin's running okay there. We'll have to clean these shivs off. There's a lot of crap. I should have done that before I started. We've got a functional lathe. You know, I mean, the reality is, who knows how true it is. I know we've got a lot of wear here, but we could set tools up in it, assuming the chuck will lock and unlock, and we've got a lathe that would actually remove some metal. Well, we're not even close to being ready to do that yet, but nonetheless, it would do it. So, okay, so if we were to take this, slide it down out of the way, and lock it back in position again. We should be able to shift into a back gear. Maybe. Oh. Let's go back to a forward direction here. Big, old, and slow. All right. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. We got to lay this functional. You know, I think it's pretty cool. This is basically all I'm going to do with this for right now. I'm going to rearrange things a little bit. This is going to sit here, but we're going to shift some other stuff around. And you know, if you haven't hit that subscribe button and this is interesting to you, I'd appreciate it. Hit that bell notification. You'll know when I put out a new video. Comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.